This is Volvo. I did something to this new, um, whatever that's called, Syncro ring. Boy, I need more coffee this morning. Buy a new Syncro ring and some new springs. We're just kind of doing this end. We inspect. It was fine. Um, I think this has been opened before and gone through before, so that's good. And we're just going to put this back together. And I'm going to do this live, I hope. There's going to be noise and all kinds of stuff. And here I am again. And, we'll just do this thing. And I've never used this before, so I think I can use this camera the right way. I don't know if I can go this way. Nope. Orientation is locked this way, so I'll figure that out on my stand here. Here we got the Volkswagen in the background, got the 122 over here, and like I said, I don't know how to unlock the orientation. I should have figured that out at the beginning. Maybe I'll come back in a second. I don't know. I've got one person watching. Hey, how you doing? Glad you're here. Hopefully, hopefully this is enjoyable. I don't know if it's going to be enjoyable or not. I just thought I'd do it, try it out. But I wonder if I can change the orientation this way. Nope. Can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up. Oh, you're gone. Okay. I'll come back with a different orientation. Just a second. No, that's not going to work. No way to go back. So we're going to do it this way. I'm going to put you sideways for a second. And then we're going to do that. And then we're going to do that. And put you like this. I know this is annoying. I didn't know it was going to do that. So first live video, no big deal. See if anyone watches this. There's no one watching right now. And I'm not going to be able to see the comments because I've got it this way. Unless I do this and go like this and go like that. So I guess I'll see if there's any comments doing that. All right. Well, good enough. Get rid of that. All right. Yeah, we're 3.5 minutes in. But what I had to do is, this is the lay shaft. This is the secondary shaft. I went and bought some 5/8 inch rod and cut it to length of the lay shaft. So this fits inside here, and it'll slip down inside of the transmission case. So we got that. We've got to set up the bearings. I've got some Lucas Super Sticky here to set up the bearings. And we got to get that lay shaft down in the bottom first, then put together the main shaft, and then put all the top bits on. And that lay shaft will sit down in the bottom. It goes in like this, and it will sit down in the bottom there. And that, you can't see it, but that reverse gear, I can see where that attaches, so that'll sit that way. But we've also got to put in these guys into there, and they sat in this way. There's a little notch they sit in, and I've seen that done with red Loctite, so I may do that. This might take a few hours, so if this is boring, I get it. But at least I got you to talk to. And this might be a dumb idea. I don't know. You tell me. See, if I don't put that in the notch, then it doesn't sit up there right. And of course, I ran out of all parts cleaner and everything. And I'm probably doing this way too dirty. Just meaning way too dirty stuff. I've watched Rob do this on Amazon Cars a few times. I've got my books, and made a couple trial runs. I don't want to put this in with RTV. That would be a bad job, and I don't think grease is going to be sticky enough for those to sit in there. Mr. David Bello has a good video about this also, but he it wasn't step by step. I don't want necessarily to do a step by step. I'm an idiot. I'm not going to be doing this right. I'm sure there's parts of it that someone would yell at me about. You idiot, what the hell are you doing? Doing it that way. It's completely wrong. There's witness marks on these copper washers here that you can see pretty well. And again, I'm going to clean these two surfaces really well here. And we're going to try this red Loctite trick. Now watch, I won't be able to find my red Loctite. I found it. That was easy. So, this is supposed to be the trick. You put a smear of red Loctite on here. Well, okay. Smear that around some. And this, I have really fat fingers. See, I'm already touching everything. It was down there like that. Well, it's stuck. Yeah, I've probably got a very little bit of grease on my hands. I don't know. Just a little smear of that, and this one gets oriented like that. It's got little grooves and stuff so that it, I'm assuming, lets oils flow through there. That one looks right. That one slipped a bit. There. It's dead against there. And I didn't see, hey, how long does this sit there? Does it need to dry? What's the scoop here? This one's not sitting. Where it needs to be. Well, that one stuck pretty well, so I guess they stick pretty fast. You know what, I can use this fake shaft. Okay, that got everything set it up. So that red Loctite seems to stick pretty good. That's a good trick. I will wipe off the surface of that, make sure there's none inside the gearbox. But that was Rob at Amazon Cars. He said use rec Loctite on those two brass bushings, or copper bushings, so that works. Let me put this back. Get the main shaft out of the way here. So we've got our case. We've got our lay shaft. It goes that direction. First, second, third, fourth, reverse in here, and then all the stuff that's in the main shaft. Hey, got one viewer again. Thank you for joining. That's cool. Hopefully this doesn't suck too bad. I've got all my needle bearings for the lay shaft, and there are two spacers. Can you see those? Yeah, there's two spacers on either end. And I apologize for the vertical orientation. I didn't know I could change it. If I go out of live and come back, it'll make a different live. So I'm sticking with this right now with the vertical orientation. So these spacers, there's one that goes in there, I think 14 of the needle bearings here, and then, or roller bearings, and then that other one goes on there. So what I've got is some Lucas Super Sticky Grease. We're gonna try this out. I've cleaned up everything as best I could. I don't have a parts cleaner or anything. And we're gonna, golly. And I should put this spacer in first, is my guess. And then we're gonna put some Super Tacky in here. This is really the key, I understand, is getting that grease in there and getting those bearings to stay up against the walls there. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to drop half of them as we go along because they're slippery. I am not a transmission guy. This started out as replacing a U-joint on the driveline. If you watch those videos, that led to buying a press, which I haven't put together yet, but by the time I was able to get to where I bought a 12-ton press, I was already done putting everything together. I'm sticking these to the wall. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe I'll bring the camera over here in a minute and get these all in here, and I'm gonna just put monster amount of grease in here. I have never done a transmission, and it just led to this. The Beetle I took off to my friend Greg Sayers in Colorado, Mr. Gas, and had him rebuild my transmission for me. All right, I'm gonna put some more grease in here just to really get those guys greased up in there. And we put our other cap on there. I want those bearings to stay attached to the side. I don't want them to fall in. So that's why we're kind of using the grease as a plug to hold all that together. And then this end, got two more spacers. One that goes in the bottom. Bunch of grease in here. Get it around the sides. Sorry about the vertical orientation. I know it's annoying and I couldn't fix it. And we put our roller bearings in here. Watch, I'm going to get to the end of this and I'm going to need one more, or I'm going to have one extra. Because that's my life. We'll see. I don't want that. I don't know if you can see all this, but I'll take the camera off here in a second. I'll show you what I'm doing. I'm not doing these one at a time. Well, 2 or 3 at a time. This is what I'm doing to set them in there. I need a little bit more grease on that side. There we go. I was really careful when I took all this apart, making sure I got all the bits. All right, I've got 3 of these left. And looks like that happened properly. I'm gonna get some more grease here too. I'll get some more grease in there. Let me get a little bit more grease. Came in here early and tried to lay everything out, get stuff where I can get to it. All the tools and everything. We're gonna need some for the main shaft as well, so we'll do this. I had to bring, I have a Wi-Fi extender in my house. I had to bring it outside into the middle of the yard with a extension cord so that I could catch Wi-Fi from here. That was exciting. It seemed to work. I got to remember, since I'm live, that I don't want to rush this. You know, I know you guys that are watching maybe want to use this for some help, kind of as an instructional video. I don't pretend to do instructional videos. I'm just an idiot working on cars here. But I watch other people's videos and learn from them, so I understand. Even if people make mistakes. All right. We got our lay shaft here. And maybe I'll put the, no, because that would just move all my grease. But I do want to make sure all of those bearings are seated in there. That feels pretty good. Use that, get more grease. I have really fat fingers. I have huge hands. And some of this stuff is not too easy with these giant fingers. I also had carpal tunnel syndrome surgery on both hands this summer, which is why I wasn't making videos every week. I couldn't get out here and work. I actually redid a lot of the drive shaft after having the first surgery, so that was interesting. And been having some other health problems. Sucks getting older. I'm not old. My 78-year-old friend Richard Blake, who's probably going to watch this, says I haven't seen anything yet. And he's 78. He's really active. Don't say anything different, Richard. He just came out to visit me a couple weeks ago. Had a good time. Okay. So the next trick, gotta get this the right way around. The next trick is dropping this. Oh, no, the next trick is we actually do want to put our fakey lay shaft in here. I don't know why. That's why we're practicing. Okay, that's not going like planned. This end went well. There we go. Okay, we got our grease everywhere. We got our fake lay shaft in there, and it's cut right to length of this. I'll show you there. So, see, we've got, this is a piece of 5/8" rod. I could have done it in Mills, but Tractor Supply in Raton, New Mexico does not have any bar stock in Mills. So, although this car was built, it was standard. It was not metric. Sweden hadn't gotten to the metric system yet. So we got our fake lay shaft in there. 5/8" piece of rod cost me $19. I got 3 feet. I didn't need 3 feet. So we got that in there. And then we're going to get our lay shaft in here, and we're going to very carefully, he said, we're going to very carefully put it between our copper bushes down there. There we go. There it is. And it just dropped into the bottom. Yay, that's the hardest part. We got our secondary shaft, our lay shaft in there. We got our fake bar through there. All the bearings are in, plenty of grease. This is the lay shaft. You should inspect this, see if you got pits and everything. This one's in really good shape. It's got a little bit of wear on it, but not enough that I'm gonna buy a $80 lay shaft plus shipping and put it in there. Yay, I'm stoked about that. That actually worked. So we got our secondary shaft in there, our lay shaft, our reverse gear is in the right place. Misses that. Yeah, that's the right direction, because otherwise this reverse can't go. Got a book right here. Doesn't go into that great of detail. But I used it for some pictures and some description. So if we had that the other way, it wouldn't fit. So it's got to go that way. Okay, second part. Got our secondary shaft here. That's our secondary shaft. This is our main shaft. Same deal. We got roller bearings that go in here. This is the that can go there or there. We'll see. But this has our input bearing on it, and then our exit bearing is in this housing. I replaced that bearing already. This bearing is brilliant. We're just leaving that. I need to check on the seal on this still. I forgot about that. I just want to get the box together and get everything sorted. One of the things we do want to do is put our gasket on here. Let me grab that gasket. I went ahead and bought a new kit after the last disaster. Thing you'll notice on this is there are the right holes for everything on here, but there's also a drain hole. And that drain hole, let me turn this around or tip it up. That drain hole's right here. So we want to put some light grease on here just to hold our gasket. And then when we do this, we'll look at that. If I put it in this way, that hole lines up with this drain hole here. That comes out of the bearing and goes around. You can't get it this way anyway. I'm very carefully going to take this down. There we go. And with that grease, we'll just tack it down here to the bearing housing, because that's going to go in that way. All right. Oh, geez, don't do that. See? If you grab this wrong, all these little dogs pull out and the spring. And that's where we started. That was a mess. Okay. Greasy grease in here again. No one's watching right now. Hopefully when this goes up later as a replay, someone will watch it and enjoy it. Maybe not enjoy it, I don't know. Maybe I'm just way too boring. Yeah, see this I think I'm going to put it maybe on here. Anyway, our Syncro. We don't want to forget our Syncro. That's a really bad thing. But these bearings go down in here. Do I don't have any other kind of spacer or anything. This will just go on. I wonder why they use a puller on some of this. I'm not making any sense, I'm sorry. I can't grab these. Too much grease on everything. I don't want to put those around there. That's not where they go. They go down here. Nope, they go way down there, guys. There we go. Okay. If I'm doing this wrong, let me know. It's someone on the forum already told me I'm a braver man than him. I was doing this out of necessity. I don't have a transmission shop nearby that can do anything like this. So I'm doing it. Gonna learn how to do it. And I think I'm going to put this shaft in first. And then the other side. And hopefully, come up here. Hopefully use all my parts. Thank you for not watching today. There's zero viewers. I think I still have a good connection. I mean, it didn't say bad connection, so that's all right. Normally I'd have music on in here, but can't do that while going live. Also, you know, my battery might die on my phone. We'll see. This shouldn't take too long. I'm not going to do 100% putting this in while you guys are watching. I'll do another kind of separate video on that. Okay, this last one. There we go. Okay, all those guys are in down there. This Lucas Super Sticky is exactly that. It is super sticky. Okay, so that's all back together. That's our other half shaft for the main shaft. A glove blowout here. Let me get some new gloves right back. All right. We got some nice grease around here. Can we put our, yep, put our Syncro on there. I think I'll grease that up a little bit more. There's supposed to be, you know, transmission gearbox oil sliding around all in here. And I don't want anything to break. There we go. All right, so we are going to put our half shaft in here. It's supposed to just slide in. I didn't have to use a puller. Let's see. Tools, tools, tools. I don't want to loosen any of those bearings. I don't want to lose my lay shaft. Should I pick that up like that? There we go. Another Syncro ring. We're good. Okay. Syncro ring back in there. Secondary shafts in there. Oh, that won't work. My hand's fat. Okay, bearings. Stable. Now we want to come in with this guy. Where's the top? Keep that all together. Okay, bearings went in, but I need to be, this is touchy. Okay, I'm going to redo this. I don't like how that's working because I can't see it in there. Oh, don't pop out of gear. I'm going to put this Syncro ring on here because you want those dogs. There's 3 little dogs in here and they need to match up with that little bit right there. I'm going to put some grease in here, I think. Is it okay to have this much grease in here? Yeah, I think so. Run it for a little bit and change the oil. Okay. Put some grease in here too. Because why not? All right, and check these bearings again. Okay, we're still good. There's no spacer or anything that goes on the top of that. I don't have any of that stuff here. If there is, I screwed it up. This will last 2,000 miles and explode. But I think we're good. Okay, we're going to do that with the Syncro on this end. And we're just going to go straight in like that. Get our gasket and everything like so. Yay. So we're gonna, no we're not, we can't start these screws because we gotta get the lay shaft in. But that, see, that wasn't happening before. I couldn't turn the output shaft and the input shaft separately. It was not in neutral. And now we're in neutral. And we caught the dogs on there. So we can't put any screws in here yet because we got to get our other lay shaft in. I mean our true lay shaft in here. Okay. I don't know if it matters which direction, but we got to turn this upside down. That secondary shaft, see, it's not hitting anything right now. It's not moving. And that's because it's sitting in the bottom of the case. So we're going to turn this over. We're going to turn this over. I might put one of these. That's not the right one. Is it this one? Nope. Oh, it's these guys right here. Okay. And I got new copper washers for these. So I'm gonna, that's a long one. Come on, Jeffrey. There we go. I'm gonna put one of these in there, keep this from sliding out. And that's what happened the first time. I was changing the seal behind there. I didn't realize that you can't do that. I mean, you can do that. You just have to take this off and not this. But I want to change that. Anyway, I pulled the main shaft apart, which you do not want to do. But everything's working. All right, we're going to turn this upside down. And when we do that, there we go. We got our lay shaft in the right spot here. Got to turn that like that. Here's our lay shaft. Now here's the deal. One end has a little bit of a bump on it. That's this end, the rear end. And it goes in that way. If you do it differently, it doesn't work because this will wallow out the front end. It doesn't go in here. It will this direction, but you can't do that because this is the bigger hole over here. So we need to get that. Did you hear that little thunk? This is going to be nerve-wracking a little bit for me. We got to get this in the right spot and get that started pushing out our other shaft, which we're doing. Keep tension on it so that we catch the bearings on this end. I think we caught them. And then I'm going to use this mallet. We can start. Well, that's out. So we caught it. We caught all the bearings and everything. I'm going to get a more manly hammer here. So that's fully seated. We caught our bearings on our secondary shaft. This guy can rotate back to here. Flip this back over. I don't want this to pull apart again. And now our secondary shaft, woohoo, is down there properly. This is all askew, but that's okay. Now we just put it together. And we've done a transmission. I can't believe it. That is something I never thought I was going to be able to do. It does. I don't know if it works yet. I mean, we can, let me get some, I got to get the copper washers here. And I forgot to bring those out. I've got new copper washers. I need to clean off some stuff. But I just wanted to bring you in for the live view, seeing me put this kind of back together, getting the bits and pieces together. And, well, let's put a couple of these in. I know, I'm impatient. We can do that one. And we can do this one. So that won't come off. That other end's stuck in there. Everything moves right. If I go into A gear, there we go. I can see the differential turning in there. And we slide back here. We go into, that's third. And there's fourth, I believe. And then this should be, well, this is the proof of the pudding. There we go. That should be a piece of glove snipped off there. Well, that feels like 1-to-1. I don't know. There we go. And then we got another gear there. That was me pushing down. Okay, something doesn't sound right. I don't have any parts left. Could be this. I don't like that sound. Then again, we're just working on the raw transmission here. I think it's just that little slap. We don't have any fluid in here or anything. I mean, everything. Okay, it does that in all the gears. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? I don't know. I'll make sure there aren't any bearings sticking down anywhere or anything. I don't know how to feel this, but I guess that does feel like fourth. It should be differential from the input and output. Yeah, this is barely turning, and that's turning a lot. Hard to tell with your hands. But there's some sloppiness here. That's okay. So that's neutral. That's where we want it to be when we put everything together. It's back in neutral. I know this isn't the best setup. First live I've ever done. I have no idea. I'm learning. We're all learning together. But I'll get new copper washers around here so that everything seals really well. I'll make sure that all the grit and everything is off of all these screws. And I'll do another video on the rest of this. Because I've got 0 washers right now. But we got to remember to put our little balls in there for our indent and our springs. But that's after we put these selector shafts in. I want to get the bottom buttoned up and then get all the shafts in and everything. So we're doing this right. I think that's it. Didn't test reverse. There's reverse. Hey, it works. Everything went in reverse. Now we're out of reverse. Okay. Well, hey, if you joined in for a little while, I appreciate it. Y'all can't see me. Let me pull my phone out of here. If you all joined in for a little bit this morning, I really appreciate it. I know this wasn't the biggest deal in the world. I see one person just joined. That's okay. But you can see we've got the transmission back together. We got a new Syncro on, I think, number 1 there. No, that would be 2. The second gear Syncro was kind of bad. It had some rattiness to it. It's laying over here. And we did the project with the new made secondary shaft, the smaller one. I'll be selling these for $15 on eBay. I don't know. They're not hard to make. 5/8 inch piece of rod took care of it. So we're good. And now I'm just going to button this up. And the next video will probably be me putting this back together, buttoning it up. Although I already made one of those. That's pretty easy. Maybe I won't. I'll just put this back together, and then we'll get it in the car. And over here, we've got our drive shaft back together. New U-joints on there. Made a video on that. And we'll put this all back together. It should only take a couple hours. I might get it done today. I don't know. Out of parts cleaner. But it should only take a couple hours to put all that together and get the transmission in. And once we've got all that, I can drive this car again. hey, thanks for joining me today. I'm going to go off live now and continue working on this, but I appreciate it. I'll make a video of putting all this back together so you can see that, and then we'll go for a drive. Thanks a lot. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.